Okay, hobby vlog episode 1. I think I'm just gonna go over everything that I'm working on these days. First, let's do this. Gaze upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. It's gonna be pretty obvious at some point how messy my workspace is, so might as well get it out of the way. This is my desk, where I do things that aren't Warhammer. This is my desk where I do things that are Warhammer. This is my pile of RPG books on the ground, because all of my tabletop RPGs are done here nowadays using that microphone. This is just random stuff. These are my Warhammer projects that I started and will probably never finish because I just bought them. Don't even want to paint them really, including all the Space Marines from the Indomitus kit. Someday I'm sure I'll get to all those. But at the moment, things that I'm working on. First and foremost, I've got 5 more interceptors that I'm gonna paint up. I've primed them black, put a base coat of lead belcher on them, and then Drakenhof Nightshade, and now I'm just procrastinating on them. But I have 5 more guys, and soon they will be painted and ready to join the other interceptors. This right here is a project not even really a project, just a random fun time that I started. I was playing in a Deathwatch RPG the other day on my computer, and I had my computer sitting right there. And recently, I came into possession of the Betrayal at Calth box, so I figured I'd start putting those Marines together. I've had the box sitting around for a minute, haven't figured out what to do with it, so just started putting together really old Space Marines, which has been fun. I'm not even trying to do anything special with them, just putting them together. I like the Sergeant with the power fist. The box I got, though, from a friend, has no bases, so I need to find 32mm bases somewhere. Oh, this guy. I'm going to turn him into a Grey Knight's Librarian. I saw the top of his little back thing there, and I was like, man, I'm going to put my 7th Brotherhood white and red little crest on those. So I put some books on him, made sure I had a Stormbolter rather than a Combi Melta. Big old sword. I'm going to probably put some of those Paladin back books right there just to sell the Librarian feel to him more. And his armor definitely looks very different from my other Grey Knights, so I think he'll stand out very exceptionally as a character. One note on here. Purity seals. I use purity seals in all of my kit bashing in order to cover up areas that don't quite merge together. That shoulder is missing these little tassel things, and a purity seal just covers it. No, nobody will notice. Except I guess now everybody will notice because I mentioned it. But yeah, that's mostly what I'm working on right here. Oh, this is a kit bash for the Blue Scribes. I told my brother I'd do this for him for Christmas 2 years ago and never did. And I'm gonna actually do it this year for him. So I just started painting these guys. Haven't got a lot done on them. It'll be fun. I probably should have done this in contrast now that I'm thinking about it. But oh well, we've started this. That's a project for the next few weeks before Christmas. What else have I got over here? My incredibly organized paint system. All of my contrast is on there, and then everything. And then more paint in here. This is a note that I keep for myself because I always buy Army painter sprays and then really regret it. Painting notes. This is a project over here. This is a jumble of, man, I'm a mess. It's just a mess. This is a jumble of Tau stuff. Tau, and you might notice dinosaur bits. I have a project I've been working on for a while, where I'm mixing Seraphon and Tau together, and I'm having the funnest time with it. I haven't really been inspired to paint them in a couple months, but I have some fun conversions. Crisis suits. I'll show you the stuff that I have painted for them in a minute, but I don't know, I've been really into painting Grey Knights in the last 3 months, and especially with this channel. People like my Grey Knights. In here, I don't think I have much more in the way of Warhammer stuff. Let's check out my other hobby space in my house. The second room in my house that is dedicated to my hobbies. My wife is very patient and very kind for letting me use so much of our space for my dumb games. This is where I keep all my terrain. I've got a bunch of cool terrain bits. Some I've painted recently, some I've just gathered from other places. This is my newest terrain bit. I cleaned up my game against my brother's Thousand Sons recently and realized I have nowhere to put this. It's huge, and I don't exactly have space for it anywhere. Actually, is this wise? Let's try this out. How long before someone kicks that while we're playing around it? It's not sticking out, though, of either side. So, should be good. That should work. Hobby vlog, though. Hobby projects. What am I working on over here? This is a bunch of aquarium plants that I have, and then a lot of flock. And someday I'm going to follow a simple YouTube tutorial and put them all on cardstock or cardboard, spray the bases, and make a jungle, and have cool jungle terrain and forests for obscuring and things like that. These bunkers and walls and whatnot are like 90% completed. I just need to go through with a metallic dry brush and do some of the detail work on it. I've been talking with a friend of mine recently. He suggests putting up some PVC pipe and some curtains of some sort over everything, so you guys don't have to look at all of my hiking equipment and my washing machine every time I'm playing, which might be kind of nice. Kind of give it more of an atmosphere of professionality to it. Professionalism? Professionalism. Over here, more projects that I have. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about most of my terrain projects at the moment. I am also feeling good about the number of Grey Knights I have at the moment. I can always use more, and in fact do have more on the way. Here's all my vehicles. Primarily, I've got some stuff that I want to work on for my exorcists. I have a Space Marines army. There's some tanks. It's a Siphon Interceptor. Yeah, these guys are pretty cool. I haven't played with them a whole lot. I just wanted to paint up some Space Marines, and I figured the Exorcist would be a good way to do it. Let's get the glare off of there so we can actually look at them properly. Hello, guys. They're really fun. But yeah, Exorcists are rad. Someday I will bring them on the channel, but for now we're really focusing on Grey Knights. These are my dinosaur Tau. They are the Sausar Sept. I love them so much. They're very different from what I'm used to painting. Lots of bright colors, lots of cool, very like organic and like technologically angular pieces. So they're very different from Grey Knights. So whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed by silver and power armor, I take a break and do some stuff with these guys. I don't have a huge force of them, but they're cool. Speaking of the size of my forces, this is every model I've ever painted in these two cabinets. And that feels like a lot less. I've only been in the hobby for 3 years, but I feel like I've painted more than this, but it is legitimately everything I've ever done. Here's a project. I forgot about it because it's just sitting on top of my little mini fridge here. Space is hard. Zombies. I'm not putting a ton of detail into these guys. Oh, focus. Just using some contrast paints to just give them a little bit of bright, very kind of gross look to them. But once I get everything painted, and then I'm going to do a really simple bases on these guys, I'm going to do a really fun narrative game with them using the infestation rules and just have zombies covering the board while we try to grab objectives. Don't know who I'm going to play against, but we'll use Poxwalker rules for these guys. It'll be rad. I'm really stoked. Empty table now, ready to be set up for another game. Oh, and I'm really excited about this. Anyone who watched my most recent battle report, you'll have probably noticed that my models aren't covered in shadows, and there's not just dark pools all over the board. I recently got a new lighting system, and it lights up the table tremendously. There's no real weird dark spots or anything. Very pleased with it. I need to find a more professional solution to this rather than just tape. But it looks great. It looks great on video. But for the moment, because of COVID and lockdown and everything, no games. I'm gonna work on some hobby stuff. I'm gonna get some things caught up. Gonna definitely finish painting these interceptors. Gonna finish painting a few side projects. I don't even know what I'm gonna do when I'm done with them. There's gonna be like 30 tactical Marines, and I guess I could make them a part of my exorcist force. Maybe I'll paint them up as something different though. It might be fun. Fun little project. He's got a little melting gun. This guy though, everybody's been telling me to have a librarian for the longest time, and so I'm finally gonna make a Grey Knights librarian. Oh, there's my dog yelling at me. He needs to go outside. But yeah, I don't know. I'll do updates like this. Maybe focus more on projects that I'm doing, painting projects, terrain projects, kit bashing, things like that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope it was entertaining.